Hello all. Good evening for everybody. I hope everybody's fine on this beautiful day and my colleagues and all the presenters could entertain you with new information, new knowledge they could share. Okay. Let me just give the chance for those ones who are just about to arrive in the streaming to get connected. And in a minute, I'm going to start my presentation. Maybe for those ones who know Mentimeter, it is a telling line here above. You can already go to Mentimeter just to save some time for yourselves. Okay. Now let's get started then. Here we are. Some of you have already signed in. Let us check who will be able to find our platform for interaction today, which is going to be menti.com. Please open a new window and go to menti.com and use the code 807184, which you will be able to see throughout the whole presentation, even if you are not able to see it on the first slide anymore. And then please follow my instructions. The first one is going to be to send me a thumb up if you are there already, just to make you see how many of you are there. At least one person. Okay, good. Good. There is a little delay. That's why I'm waiting a little bit longer. But I promise I will be able to entertain you for half a minute or 1 minute until the others find the buttons. Today we are going to have in the following 1 hour something kind of common thinking, reflections, communication in a way, even though I'm not there, not present in your homes, so we'll be far away from each other, but still sitting here in the hope, having some very enthusiastic people who would like to try out something today. So let me get started then, as I see that more and more of you have already arrived. So my first question is, before we start doing anything, is whether you like meetings. And I'm really curious because maybe this technique I'm going to show you will be able to help you out in meeting situations. And some of you might think, I'm okay with having meetings. Some of you might be excited about them. Some of you might be absolutely enthusiastic, but some of you maybe don't really like and think this is just a waste of time. It depends on what kinds of meetings you are used to. Maybe there are some participants here who are okay with having meetings. Good to know. I think it's a good thing to be okay with having meetings because we cannot avoid them, to be honest. And if we cannot avoid them, it is there in our everyday lives, then of course we need to accept them to a certain extent. And if you want to get motivated for meetings, then if you start liking them, it's even better. Wow, wow, wow. And there is one person who likes them because they are useful. Good. Okay. And I'm sitting here still in the hope that somebody is an enthusiast of meetings. And they might be then, yeah, one of the lucky ones who have very efficient, very good, very well prepared, and very well managed meetings, where the facilitator is okay as well, where everybody feels they will be able to come there and experience something very useful, positive, something with an outcome, with action items. Okay, so as far as I can see, you are more positive than negative about meetings. Okay, let's think about why you feel so. Maybe you have your reasons. Maybe your meetings are absolutely okay and you can do there what you plan to. You have there very good people who can think together with you, who you are on the same page with. And this way, you can come up with solutions which are useful enough to bring you further on the way of working together. To be honest, I have been to meetings very often where I felt, wow, this was like amazing. Everybody was well prepared. Yeah, and it can be fun. Yeah, meeting people who you don't necessarily need to talk to on a daily basis, or maybe you don't have enough time to exchange ideas with each other or socialize with each other. It's good to sit with them in a room and see them in person, face to face, and see what their reactions are to your proposals, your suggestions, your ideas, and of course, to see whether professionally you are on the same page and whether you are able to motivate each other, for example, to get on with working together, keep working together on the same project for a very long time. Um, really curious about what those three other people think who were just a few seconds ago in the chat. Because it's always more important for me to get to know what you think about this. I have my own experience, but we are here today to exchange ideas. Okay, it is useful. Great. A face-to-face conversation. You can react quickly. We can discuss things together. Yeah, this is maybe one huge advantage of meetings which are held face-to-face, that you can react very quickly, immediately, and discuss things together, thinking together. Different personalities, different levels, different roles come together, have different perspectives, and have a wide range of ideas, which might be very useful for improving what's going on the project, for improving processes, for bringing the whole project more and more into the direction which it was meant to be. Okay. Now let's take a look at some things I would like to bring here, some ideas, despite the fact that there don't seem to be very many people in the streaming. Let's take a look at other aspects of this as well. Let me just go on. Okay. Let's try something different for discussing things. Maybe in your meetings you have a certain procedure which you have. This certain procedure might be helpful, but if you get stuck always in the same ways of working together, same processes, then maybe new ideas cannot be brought up. And this is a pity because sometimes when there is a very complex and difficult situation, maybe you cannot come up with the right idea to get out of the situation. So what I would like to present here today is the 6 thinking hats. It was described by Edward de Bono, and it is about exploring parallel thinking about the same things just by putting on different thinking hats. These are 6 means, 6 ways to plan thinking processes. Because Edward de Bono discovered that the human brain thinks in distinct ways, and these can be challenged deliberately, and they can be used to think in a structured way about very complex problems sometimes. And this for the reason to make well-explored decisions from 6 different perspectives, which is based on the human brain's discovery. So one more thing I wanted to add here is caution. These are no natural ways of thinking. These are very artificial ones. So you need to be careful with them, and they must be used for a limited time only, just to explore what comes out of that certain perspective, and they may not be used in longer term for discussing things. You will see what these are like. These are 6 hats, 6 ways of thinking. What do you think these 6 ways of thinking are? What are you expecting? Now you are able to put in Mentimeter 6 different perspectives. I'm really curious which of these you will have there. I leave it with you. So what I meant is maybe letting you think about this, because you might think these are so obvious that it's not even necessary to discover them, so to say. And you might be wondering when I'm talking about this that you experience these directions on a daily basis. But of course, it is because these are based on the human brain's directions, ways of thinking, and that's why they sound, so to say, somehow obvious for you, which is a way you might think is nothing special. Now we've got already one person's list: acceptor, good listener, decliner, thinker, arguer. Wow, a very good approach. Okay. Maybe an arguer could be someone who wears a certain hat. You will see which one. And a thinker as well. Thinkers who try to consider every single aspect, all the facts, all the different data they are available. Oh, realistic has been mentioned here as well. Emotional. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you have experienced in different meetings as well that some people react based on their emotions. And this is a way of thinking. This is a mean as well. One of the six thinking hats will be related to that as well. And the creative one has been mentioned by more of you. It will be related to one of the hats, thinking hats. And a decliner. A pragmatic, somebody who is down to earth, who is very practical in thinking about things. Close, close, close. Okay. There are feelings mentioned. Analysis. Again, very good. Benefits. Benefits people can have based on what they propose as ideas. Okay. Objective hasn't been mentioned by me yet. Data. Costs. Data and costs maybe are, again, one thing that are related to the facts themselves. Okay. I think you are already well prepared for getting to know what a human brain can offer for you. Let's look at this. So this is what we are going to talk about. Yeah, actually, I wanted to joke a little bit here around because I think it's going to be less difficult than it seems to be. But what you mentioned, emotions and creativity and costs, okay, benefits as well. Thinking is already in, okay, and that controlling part and the arguing part, the declining part, the negative part is also there. Let's take a look at the six different heads one by one. As you can see, it's quite a colorful way of thinking, and it might represent all the different approaches we have when thinking about things and weighing up pros and cons, thinking about solutions. So, the blue one, control and organization, process related. If you put on your, sorry, your blue hat, yeah, if you put on your blue hat, then you take control and you think in processes and you manage thinking. You plan the agenda, set the focus, you summarize and conclude. You are taking care of time management and you call for decision to be made. And you are the one who decides next steps. So this is all about processes, control and organization. Whose role do you think it is in a meeting? So who is the person who puts on the blue hat whenever being in a meeting? I'm really curious whether you can identify the person sitting in your meetings having the blue hat on. Maybe, and this is a very important thing here to be mentioned. There is nobody in your team who puts on ever the blue hat. These teams are less effective, of course, because without control, and it is really a must in every single organization, in every single team or grouping of people. So here, everything is out of control. So if there are no organizing principles, somebody who takes the leading role, maybe a manager, a project manager, a leader, a boss. Okay, this could be a thinking hat in a meeting as well, or in any kind of thinking process or process of working together. A chairperson maybe in a meeting. Okay, absolutely okay. Let me see whether there are any other votes here. Okay, Okay. So, um, this is absolutely needed, this approach to any kind of thing. Otherwise, your team won't ever be able to succeed. But of course, there are other different approaches as well, which we are going to get to know very soon. For example, the white hat. The white hat, which you may remember, paper, which has actually no color. So here, okay, it is white, but actually it is not colorful. And this being not colorful uh, suggests that the approach which they represent when, or anybody, putting on the white hat, just a sec. Oh, I don't have my white hat, sorry. Um, so if you put on your white hat, then you are neutral and objective. No colors, no emotions, just the facts, general information, facts and figures, determining accuracy and relevance. Neutral and objective. This is what you need to be like. You never express your personal opinion, just the general information matters and other points of view. And somebody likes it among the audience, okay, maybe they have a feeling of confidence or feeling of safety when being in an environment like this. It is absolutely okay. It is absolutely okay. But what we've had so far, the blue hat with the control and the framework and leading, then the neutral and objective point of view is still not enough to bring a project further or communication process or any discussion, but we need something else. We need feelings, and this is what the red hat represents. Feelings, emotions. Oh, sorry, I don't know where I need to put it. So actually this way, your intuition can be switched on, your emotions. And if you put on your red hat in a meeting, for example, it means at the same time you give permission to express feelings. Of course, not for too long, otherwise, it's going to be kind of ventilating. Somebody doesn't really seem to like it. Yeah, maybe they are not an emotional type, but there is still some space for this, because if you think of a meeting where there are no emotions, maybe there are other things missing as well. Intuition, which can bring things just on the right track, or hopes and fears can be expressed and can be felt at the same time. If you have too much of fears, it will maybe bring in too much of emotions when you want to make a decision. And this way, if you never allow people expressing their feelings and hopes and fears and concerns, then you might not be able to see where the dangerous things are, whether people are okay with the project, with how things are going on. Of course, likes and dislikes, what you are doing now, are absolutely okay as well. Nobody can be blamed for expressing their thoughts if the red hat is on, if they are invited to express their feelings. That's one thing. And actually, you may have emotions. You may dislike a decision. It's not a problem. And there is no need to justify why you don't like the red hat. Please limit it to maximum 30 seconds. Yeah, this is like mini ventilation. Okay, so we will do it the same way when we're going to try it out. Let's move on to the yellow one. Yellow, positive thinking. Just the light of the sun. This is what you may remember, how warm it is, or a fireplace with fire in. There is a warmth there, and positive thoughts, an optimistic view, which brings some constructive light. And actually, if you want to find the benefits, you just need to put on this hat. This can be a short-term and a long-term view as well, looking into the future, planning visions, yeah, or looking just at the following day. It reinforces the creative ideas, and if you are giving an idea, then of course you need to give some reasons why this idea might work, because it's not just about generating the ideas, but giving the reasons as well is also important. Giving maybe positive reasons. And then we have arrived at the black hat, the cautions, critical judgment, a skeptical view, which has its own place in any meeting, any conversation, any discussion, because risks might be there and somebody needs to analyze them. Danger might be there and you need to recognize it. Potential problems or negativity, why not? It is very important to have this one as well, but it may not be without giving the reasons. So it might need some reasoning as well. And another thing is you don't need to get bogged down here, because if you do so, then you will turn the idea generation into the bad direction. Some of you don't like it. Okay. It is, yeah, but it's there. It's out there. And let's take a look at the last one. What do you think it is? The green one, which might remember you growth, plants, vegetation, generating new ideas. Just like nature brings up new leaves. Plants are growing, yeah. New ideas are coming up. Creativity is there. A very optimistic view, very positive and constructive. It finds also the benefits, and the short and long-term view is very important. And it reinforces the creative ideas. You need to give here the reasons why an idea might work. I guess most of you like it, at least two of you, as far as I can see. But the thing is, this brings the positive flair into any conversation, and maybe this is the part where you can really feel, when you put it on, that new and new opportunities, new and new doors appear and open up for you, and maybe you will be able to solve any problem just by discovering these new ideas. So, three of you already like it. Wow. Okay. Now, let's make an experiment. Let's get down to real business, what we are for here actually. You are proposed the idea of working from home for the rest of the year. It is quite likely, I guess, for most of us, but can be quite unexpected in some situations, especially if you don't really like this remote setup, which you need to work in, especially if you don't really feel that it's okay for you, because it needs extra organizational efforts, extra things you need to do, or maybe you feel lost without people being around, and you don't really feel the energy without the others' contributions or the others' presence to start working. Start working on every single working day. So you might not be happy about that. What's your first reaction? I'm really curious. I have my first reactions here. I had mine actually when I was asked to work from home, and I'm really curious what you would think if somebody told you today in the afternoon. Wow, very positive person. Why not? Okay, immediately acceptance. hmm That's an absolute valid, constructive approach. We may not be like this. At least if you think about the details, if you think about what other things are connected to this. Okay, and again, cooking. Maybe somebody who needs to cook too much in these times is less happy. Not with children. Okay. Oh no. And one of you is happy about that. Great, great, great. Some cautions. I'm really curious what about an acceptance. I'm sure not. Oh no. Works for me. Great, great, great. If you are asked actually very quickly about something like this, then you tend to decide based on your gut feelings, based on your emotional background, yes or no. But you haven't discovered yet, actually. So how will you decide? You can even describe if you want to do it in a certain setup, with children, without children, with just some of your children, with grandma, without grandma, with your partner, husband, wife, or without, or maybe one of you is the only one who may work from home, or maybe both of you can work from home, but only in a way that the meetings need to be organized around daily activities of the other person. But it can be like the um, the rooms which you would be able to work in are used for other activities as well. So maybe not there, maybe in one common room with your partner if you decide about working from home together. Maybe only for some days. Maybe maybe only for 2 days a week. Maybe every other week. Maybe from a different location. So all these things can be among your decisions. And here I would like you to be more specific about your decision. Need my own place to be separated. Okay. Schedule should be discussed, separate rooms. Working from home might be good, but in the long term, you still need collaboration, so no. Oh, so this is a decision well described, but still no. Okay. Maybe you have some thoughts in mind based on which you decided. But don't forget about you have family members. Maybe you don't live in your own apartment. Maybe you have two more roommates who need to do their jobs from the same home you are living with. Maybe you don't want to go back to your parents if you're a student home where you won't be able to do things in a very calm, silent, relaxed way, which is needed for your job. So if you consider what needs to be done in your job, maybe you will need to consider every other aspect as well to be able to decide in a way that still is good for you in longer term. Until the end of the year, it's quite long, I guess. Need some communication with colleagues, small talks to push creativity. This is another aspect. Creativity is very often coming from others' ideas, inspiration, from just a chit chat in the coffee break. Maybe you have sometimes situations where you need to face a very difficult issue. You are not able to decide about which direction to go, what to do, whom to turn to, but in a coffee break, one colleague drops a word and immediately it comes to mind whom to ask, where to go, what to do, and which things to change in your code, for example, if you're coding. Okay, let's move on a little bit. Keep in mind what your decision was, what the basis for your decision was, what you have considered, because now we're going to put on the 6 different hats. Anyway, I will take these days. Wow, wow, wow. I'm really curious what it means. Maybe this participant will describe it in the following one, a little bit more detailed. Okay, let's put on then the 6 thinking hats. I'm going to start with mine. Okay. Yeah, why don't we try what the 6 hats offer to make a decision? Let's put on them. Okay, the blue hat thinking we're going to start with. This is what I'm doing now, okay? This is actually leading a thinking process. This is what you have deep inside. The questions you ask when you put on the blue hat is, what is our agenda? What is our next step? How can we summarize the discussion so far? And what is our decision? So as far as I can see this discussion, we have just started with the first ideas, how to decide about this quite difficult life issue, whether to work from home, whether to accept this or bring in some new ideas. At the moment, as far as I could see, we are at more or less you are positive about that, but somebody was there who said no. And I think they had their reasons. Maybe it was socializing, so different reasons. So far we are here. You've had your decisions, your own decisions, but maybe you will consider some other things as well. So this was my part. Let's move on to another hat. To the white hat thinking. You just put on your white hat and ask your questions. What information is available about this issue? Working from home until the end of the year. What information do we need? And maybe this way you can already explore what it covers working from home until the end of the year. And how are we going to get the missing information? These are the 3 questions which you need to bear in mind when you think about the white hat thinking, white hat way of thinking. Please type in what your answers are to these questions. Just to help you, I've put into Menti the same questions so you can see while you are typing it, while you are typing your answers. I'm really curious what you think. This is about, actually, this is about collecting data. A very important thing. You know, being absolutely neutral, you know, having the white paper for yourselves, data and information, neutral way. You can even think about the relevance of some things. If you analyze this issue based on what's available, what else you need. Asking questions actively. This is maybe what we need to do now. Actively might mean many different things. It can mean asking more persons who would be able to give you the answers. It might think that you ask many questions. This is what you need to do. Maybe the information you've got so far is based on your experience, which you went through since mid-March when things started to change. And maybe your previous experience you have seen, you went through, might help you as well. Yes, asking questions actively. This is absolutely one of the things we need to do. You can even explain, give specific answers to what exactly you would ask, because it is not only about asking questions, but what would I need to know to be able to decide about? We don't have certainty about how long the situation will last. Absolutely agree. We need information on duration, costs, who is supporting, who is not. Hmm. The facts about productivity in working from home, questions, surveys, analyzing data. Okay. And this is something, if you bear in mind, for example, that we are not certain about how long the situation will last. Maybe this working from home until the end of the year doesn't mean until the end of this year, maybe until the end of next year. We don't know. Maybe also the costs might be interesting for some of you, especially if you consider working from home has different aspects from your perspectives, different costs of living, of paying the bills, and of course, some kind of discomfort as well. Okay, and support. Who is supporting? Maybe these supporting factors can be people from your family. It can be the company which you work for, or maybe some facts are needed about productivity. So comparing your own and the team's productivity to what you had before. And the current project and communication ways is a serious issue. Who supports? Ask the team leader. Ask the team leader all the questions you would like to know what actually you need to be able to decide about this. Okay, yeah, thank you. Let's move on to another way of thinking, the red hat thinking. And you may remember it's going to be extremely fast. What are my feelings right now about this issue, working from home till the end of the year? What does my intuition tell me? What is my gut reaction? Please be quickly here. Put it in. Gut feelings. Whatever comes to mind immediately. This is ventilation time. I won't let you do it for long. You know, your heart needs rest as well. And we don't want to get too emotional about this. And maybe if you try to describe your feelings. It will help you as well to realize you have some feelings and you can start dealing with them. Fatigue. Hmm, I absolutely agree. Sometimes I feel the same. Yeah. Maybe that was a word which touched me as well. Yeah. Fatigue is typically, just for those ones who don't know this word, uh, feeling like 100 years old, almost dying, no way out of this situation, kind of deep depression as well, but based on you lack of energy, you cannot do anything. You don't feel like doing anything at all. Fear of uncertain situation, absolutely understandable. It could be an opportunity, what we don't know. We don't know yet. Maybe it is an opportunity. You never know. But you need to experience this first, you need to explore this first. And it's very, very unsafe, uncertain. You never know what's going to happen next day, next week, next month. Who knows? No way, I like going out and meeting people. Okay, that's an absolutely acceptable, yeah, gut feeling. Okay, let's move on then, because we still have three more hats and some of them might be explored more deeply. Let's go to the bright side. Sunshine happiness, yellow hat thinking about the benefits. What are the benefits of working from home until the end of the year? So, in longer term at least. What are the positive things about that? And what are the values? Is there a concept in this idea that looks attractive? Can this be made to work? What about your opinions? I'm really curious. If you put on the yellow hat, so the sunny kind of approach, how you will feel, how you will be able to collect some ideas related to this. It is sometimes very difficult, especially maybe for the person who felt fatigue. But still, if you imagine the sunshine, some warmth, some positive things, because there cannot be exclusively negative things about working from home remotely. Yeah, there is no traffic jam. You need to, yeah, stay in your car. Okay. No commuting. You can sleep more. Can be together with my partner. Okay. Less commute, more time for myself. Less closed office space. Uh-huh. Which might be actually a very good, very positive thing for some of you. Maybe those ones who are constantly ill, have some difficulties because of air conditioning at the office. Yeah, why not? More time for children, more time for works, more opportunity for new projects. Wow, wow, wow. Maybe your pet project can be started up. Why not? Maybe you have some hobbies you have always wanted to start up with, but you have never had the time for. And if it doesn't require social closeness, or yeah, socializing kind of, but can be done within this socially distancing environment, why not? Maybe what a benefit could be is more time for children. A takeaway for children, for you, for the whole family, for the whole atmosphere where you can get plenty of energies from for your work, for your hobbies, against your fatigue. Now, I guess this yellow hat has beautiful opportunities for you. Let's move on to the black hat, what it can offer. it's going to be a kind of opposite. So I just want to warn you. Here you need to answer the questions. What could be the possible problems and difficulties? What are the risks? What are the downsides? So all the negative things with a black hat. Try to think about now. What about the difficulties? What about the risks related to working from home? I don't know how long, but at least till the end of the year in this unsure situation. So try to consider. And I'm really curious what aspects will be mentioned here, which aspects of life in general, because some might just think of work related things, but it can be mental health as well, health in general, family related things, socially active people can go mad. Delay. Delay of what? I was just wondering. Maybe delaying something that can be done only in person, only face to face. Maybe you delay something that you've always wanted to do, but it is not possible in this setup. Maybe some negative effects of being alone for a long time. Tech issues at home. Oh, Jesus. I could tell you stories about that. Problems with productivity and motivation in team. Yeah, really. I can see more and more people talk about motivation, loss of motivation actually, not too much of motivation. So that might be an issue. Gaining weight, yeah, because of lack of healthy food. You eat what you can get. Maybe all the canned food is available at home. And surely plenty of things need to be organized very well if you want to eat healthy food. You need to pay more for electricity and water, and other people always come to you. Yeah, it is maybe because of the organizational background. hmm You cannot go to other people. Okay. Which might be maybe an expectation from your side if you want to socialize. But of course, if it is not doable at the moment, what can you do? It is difficult to explain children that mother is busy right now. Oh, I guess this is my husband. It provides some tension for projects. You don't know colleague mood. Again, it provides tension in the team. Okay, maybe this is somebody else. But to be honest, this is what I experience as well. Explaining children why I'm not available, although I'm here. So this is the black hat thinking. Okay, yeah, let's move on to a more positive thing. Yeah, the green pot has arrived. Green hat thinking. Let's ask yourselves, are there other ways to do this? What else could we do here in this situation? What are the possibilities? And what will overcome our difficulties? Don't forget about overcoming difficulties is also a very positive thing. And I would like you to think about, oh, sorry. No, I will wait until you think for yourselves. I'm really sorry. Maybe one of the slides have disappeared. Okay. Just think about what other possibilities there are. Think about for yourselves. Because we are very close to come up with a decision. Just send me a thumbs up if you are done with thinking of other possibilities. One person is done. Okay. What you might think of is actually um, absolutely new ways, which you wouldn't have thought of previously. Maybe some ideas that others have had. You talked about the situation too. Maybe some examples you've heard about. Maybe on the internet you've read about a family who could organize their lives like this. Or maybe some people who are more successful in this remote environment, remote setup than they were previously. In the olden times, before mid March, when everybody was working in just a normal way. Okay, three of you are done. And I guess this is more or less the active participants in this conversation. So now I would like you to summarize what your thoughts were considering the six different hats. So the first one, the blue one, the organizational one, which has the processes in mind. The white one, with all the facts and information that are available, what you will need to know, what else you will need to know, who you will need to ask to come up with a solution. And then the red one, your gut feelings. The yellow one, sunshine, happiness, the positive thoughts about this, whether there is anything good about the situation. And then the black hat, your concerns. And the last one, your new ideas you have come up with. So, what about your decision now? You can type it in. Maybe it's going to be a little bit different from the way you decided. Maybe it's going to be approximately the same. And maybe you can have some additional ideas here. Please try to be specific. You can even type in your decision that is based on some conditions. So, if I am given the answer by my team lead that I will receive a 20% pay rise if I stay at home for the following 1.5 years, then I will do so and I will organize my children uh, in a way that they don't need to be at home, but still they don't bring home any viruses. So why not? A condition can be included because now you discovered several aspects of this situation, which we are all in at the very moment. So whatever you have written, actually, I myself experienced, and it's a strange thing because in these changing times, all of us have gone through those many emotions, many experiences, kind of exploring phase where we received so much of input that it was, yeah, very difficult to live with and bear with. Still, yes, but we need guidelines towards team, family, etc. Salary raise wouldn't hurt. Maybe in these difficult times, it's even if you can keep your jobs is okay. And yeah, it is good to keep in mind that not losing your job is actually winning, so to say, in these times. Maybe one more answer would be very nice, just to have at least one different one. And I actually want to leave it with you. So if you don't want to express it right now, just write it down for yourselves. That's absolutely all right as well. Okay, I will organize my work from home in best way. In any case, my child will study English with me. Wow. Or get a lot of communication in the kindergarten. Oh, more advantages than disadvantages to do home office. That's actually good news. So somebody has still the yellow hat on, maybe. Don't forget about to get it off when you go home. I just wanted to congratulate for you. You went through the six hat process and you were able to decide in a more varied, more subtle way what you needed to decide about. I wish you good luck in your further career, working remotely, working from home, maybe for the rest of the year. And I just wanted to say thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, please get back to me. It's available on Z-Night's homepage. I'm happy to answer them and make you get to know some details about the six hats thinking. Thank you very much.